Hey everyone, I want to give a brief and to the point reminder of being in this relationship world experience and the actual value, meaning, and purpose of how creation has designed this experience so that our souls or our humans, initially as we know ourselves, enlighten ourselves to more of our soul beingness via expression, expansion, and learning. I want to remind us that the whole point of it is to bring more of ourselves out. So, like if you're in relationships that make you feel like you have to hold yourself back, that's a clear sign that either you got to exercise something in the relationship and speak up, or over time you will say, okay, that relationship really isn't serving me to become more of myself. I can't explain what this is, but we're learning it's because we're souls. We have a fair idea, but soul is coming more online, central awareness. That we're not just the usual humans putting up with stuff, carrying on, that we actually have something inside of us that is moving us and like pushing us in a forward momentum as part of the whole design, where the souls do their thing and become more of who they are. It's always set up for the good, no matter what we see in the temporary experience of the culmination of all of our energetic choices into play, where it can look messy. It's always set up for us to keep going and kind of bounce off each other who we are, to either emphasize growth with each other, some challenge to challenge the soul to come out more and grow as that human. There's always something in it in this relationship world for the expansion of soul. So when one looks at a relationship, it is about, like you're sitting back looking at a relationship, it is about what you bring out of you. So you can sit back and have a look at, okay, how do we interact, and is more coming out of me? Like, am I growing as a person? Do I feel good, etc.? That kind of thing. It isn't to depend on a particular expectation or activity. Like if we get so comfortable and used to people being a certain way, then we're literally treating each other just as 3D humans, not, oh, well, that person doesn't have to do that thing all the time, because we're both growing as souls. We may not be around each other all the time, and we got to understand we're expected to grow and change. So it's where you take the bigger picture into account, and we can't grieve for something that was, if it's natural to expand. Like we can grieve, it's natural to do that, but not like it's a detriment that someone is changing. It's just asking us, well, where am I changing possibly, or this is asking me to grow. So we can't depend on a particular activity or expectation and call that relationship, because we're souls at growth. Relationships are with another, yes, right? So it's with each other, but it is always to ask of yourself, what more do you bring? What more can you bring? You're asking of yourself, like, what is this telling me? It's not 3D, stay the same, so I feel comfortable and I'll grow that way. Because we all know we're fooling ourselves if we think we're going to grow that way, if everything stays the same. Hence the natural design to grow up, leave home, make different friends, have different relationships, try different things. We got 1,000,001 and more opportunities to behold. So, you know, accepting you're a soul allows you the freedom that nothing has to stay the same. And it's nice when you have things a certain way that you like, but always in a flow to adapt with some change. You know, because, I don't know, you may not be able to buy the same thing you always buy. Then what are you going to do? Have a heart attack? You know, like if your favorite grocer doesn't stock that anymore, or if it's gone out of, you know, production, are you going to have a heart attack and whatnot? Same thing, like if anything else changes, how are you going to deal with it? Freedom. Oh, I'll find something else. Oh, maybe there's another store that sells something like that. You know, endless kind of opportunity. What more can you do? It's not like the world ends because someone changes or someone decides to do something different. We all just got to accept that we're souls, and this is flexibility and energy, and that says it all. We're not like built to stay like 10 years old, or when you get to 40, that's it. Obviously, the design is change and grow, and so too all the dimensions of us and anything in our creative world environment. So it just highlights that we are limitless in these ways, a lot more limitless than we have thought. So the world can go through change as we're waking to this. So it's always ask yourself, what more do you bring? It's not, I can only be more of me if you do a particular thing for me. Okay, so it's kind of like detaching from corded systems that we decided to believe that I am only me if, I don't know, my parents keep doing that thing for me, or if my job at work stays the same and they don't change anything. You know, we learn over time that whether we like it or not, we're part of something bigger, so there's going to be growth, adaptation, change. And it's not to suffer consequences of that. It's to ask yourself, what is it you stand for? What is the soul here to kind of represent of itself and become more of that? So if you don't like something that's going on, is it a challenge for more growth and you find some joy in that? Or is it because you really don't resonate as a soul in this experience or with those people or person or what they stand for? Because we have soul tribes, we have lots of meaning and purpose for the soul visiting, really for the health of where you're visiting. Make it better, leave it better than when you arrived. You know, we know that from ancients and sacred sites, and I mean everywhere's sacred as far as I'm concerned. Leave it better than like don't leave it worse than when you arrived. Make it better if you can, or just leave, you know, your beautiful presence, enjoyed it or whatever. So too with relationships with people. If it's not working out, you know, just do your best to leave it as good as it can be, not worse. Just, you know. So yeah, it really does come to that point that you just keep doing that and not holding yourself in from change. That really is like the human belief patterns that safety is best. And but what we learn is as we get the ball rolling in life, we roll and grow with change. Not voiceless change. We become soulfully a part of making change in our lives via choices. not holding back our inner choices that we really want to make to please whatever is already on the outside. So empowerment. Relationships assist us with our self-empowerment. Good. Thanks for joining me, and I hope that little chat helped and instigates the ball rolling in any opening in relationships or just becoming the better version of you. Bye for now.